Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing well. So today I'm going to be analyzing each of the fights and each of the fighters of the Abu Dhabi event UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Of course, I'm going to be saying my predictions as well. I'm going to be telling you guys at the end of the video who is my lock of the week and who is my underdog of the week. And we can see some parlays as well at the end. So beginning the night, well, in the night, I mean, it's going to be pretty early event for us to be honest, since it's been being fighting in Abu Dhabi. So first fight is Cedric Dumas versus Dennis Tululin. This fight, to be honest, it's a pretty tricky fight to analyze, but Dennis Tululin is a mauler. This guy just goes forward constantly, trying to get you out of the ring. He has really good striking, really strong physical fighter, but he's not really polished technically. He comes from three straight losses. Good competition though, CLD, RoboCop, the Iron Turtle. Cedric Damas, on the other hand, I mean, he's more polished technically speaking, and in terms of striking, I think he also has much better ground game, much better jujitsu. Trying to get off, of course. I think that can be one of the ways he can win this fight if he takes this fight to the ground. But I'm not sure if he's gonna take Dennis Tulun to the ground because this guy is really strong. I think Dennis Tulun has a little bit better grappling edge over Dumas. But my pick for this fight is Cedric Dumas, and I'm not saying that with a lot of confidence. He comes from a loss of course, it was a short notice fight as well as this one as well as a short notice fight, but that one was more short notice, and he got KO'd by Ruziboev, which I really like. But before that, he had a win with us against Zaitar and Brundage. I think Cedric Dumas, if it's in the fight, if it's in the striking stage, I think Dumas can connect pretty well. The thing is, Tennis Tulunin can knock this guy out anytime. But if Dumas is careful with the striking, then I think he can definitely take this round. He's a much more technical and polished fighter than Dennis Tulunin. And of course, if it goes to the ground, I think Cedric Dumas can showcase his jiu-jitsu. So my pick with low confidence is Cedric Dumas. Second fight of the night, we have Jai Herbert against Rolando Bedoya. Um, to be honest, this one is also a tricky fight to predict. Jai Herbert, he fought a long time, of course, in UFC, but most of that time was in the featherweight division. He's going up one division with his last fight against Fares Ziam, which he lost. But then, of course, this would be his second fight in the lightweight division. On the other hand, we have Rolando Bedoya coming down from the welterweight division. This guy is the first fight that he's fighting in lightweight division. I think this is the the basically the category for Bedoya. He needs to be in this category. This is, I think it's gonna be fitting him super well. Jai Herbert, of course, we know him. He has really good knockout power. He's a really flourished and technical striker. He's a little bit more reserved, not that aggressive, of course, trying to find the combinations. He got really good combinations. It's a I really enjoy seeing Jai Herbert on the ring. But on the other side, we have Rolando Bedoya, which I think he's a machine, a cardio machine. This guy is not gonna stop. He's gonna fight until they they turn off the lights. I love this guy. My pick here is gonna go for Bedoya, even though he's coming from two straight losses. But I think if Bedoya can take care of course, the combinations of Jai Herbert, which could knock out Bedoya, I don't think Bedoya is going to get knocked out anywhere soon. I think Bedoya um, outworks Jai Herbert, wins him in the cardio stage as well. And if it goes to the judges, I think it's going to be Bedoya's. So this is my first underdog pick of the night. I say this with low confidence though, but yeah, I really like Bedoya in this fight. Next fight up, we have women's strawweight division. Victoria Dudakova versus Sam Hughes. To be honest, this is a very equal fight. To be honest, and I'm saying that even if Victoria Dudakova is 8-0, never lost in her career, but Sam Hughes is a really tricky fighter. Sam Hughes has that power, has that strength, has that cardio. This girl will constantly pressure I think that's going to be her game plan here against Dudakova, trying to shorten the distance, trying to get that combination, maybe try to get that knockout. She does have the strength to do so, Sam Hughes, and she also has the cardio to do so. But Victoria Dudakova, I think, is a better fighter all around, much more polished striker, much more polished grappler, much more polished, of course, ground game in terms of submissions, which I think this fight could end that way. Maybe Dudakova submits Sam Hughes. But if not, this one will go to the judges, and I think the judges will give it to Dudakova. I think she can do much more work in the first round and maybe in the second round as well. I think third round is going to go for Sam Hughes. But yeah, my pick here and is with all also low confidence is Dudakova. She's a little bit better, well, better in all the areas you can say in the fighting, but I don't think she has the heart that Sam Hughes has, and I think she never faced someone like Sam Hughes. So Sam Hughes could surprise in this fight. Next fight, short notice fight. We have Guram Kutateladze versus Jordan Vucenic. Jordan Vucenic comes from the Cage Warriors. Not very good competition, to be honest, for Ranti, Picard, Dana, Kepa. They're not really good fighters, to be honest. Last win was from Guillotine, and this fight was 1 week, almost 2 weeks ago. So this guy is turning the tables around pretty quickly, to be honest. That's pretty risky for him, but of course, UFC calls, and of course, you have to answer. On the other side, we have the Georgian Guram Kutateladze coming out of the All Star Gym, one of the top gyms in the world. Guram Kutateladze is a well-known striker. He does have some wrestling, to be honest, but the biggest strength that he has is his striking game. The bad thing is that Guram does not fight that recent. His last fight was about 1 year ago. Before that, 2 years ago, then almost 4 years ago. So this guy, he might have ring rust when he jumps on the big stage. That's the only downside from Guram. But on the other side, I think the ways that Busani can win it, maybe he takes it to the ground and looks for that submission. But I think Guram might have a little bit more cardio than Musenik. Guram, we saw him, of course, get gassed out, but I think he might have a little bit better cardio than Musenik because Musenik just fought like 2 weeks ago, so he might still be tired from that training camp and that fight, and of course, going to UFC. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. So I'm taking this fight. I'm taking Guram. I think he's a better fighter all around, just like Dudakova. I think he's a better fighter all around. I think this one goes to the decision of the judges. Guram, of course, trains with Khamzat Chimaev, so he's going to bring it on. And yeah, this is a pick that I really like this pick, and I'm going for Guram to showcase his real, abilities and showcase his potential because UFC knows this guy has potential, and Vucenic has never fought someone of the high level that Guram Kutateladze has. So after that fight, we have one of my confident picks of the night. Most confident picks of the night, which is Shamil Gaziev versus Dante Mays. Heavyweight division fight, low level, of course, low level. But Gaziev, the last fight, what we saw from him is just embarrassing. He just, ran out of gas. I think he had a broken nose as well, so he couldn't breathe well. So he was breathing from his mouth. So that really, didn't play well for him. And, he just quit it, and Rosenstrick knocked him out. Of course, it was his second fight of UFC against the ranked division. So his second fight was already against the ranked division guy, a ranked guy. But, you know, a lot of potential in Gaziev, to be honest. Taking out that other fight, he knocked out Bude pretty good. On the other side, we have Dante Almeida, of course, a training partner with John Jones, but of course not at the level John Jones. Dante Almeida, of course, has really good striking, but not as really good technical striker. He has a really good power. I think if this fight maintains a little bit the distance, Dante Almeida can work him out. But Gaziev, I think he's going to look a little bit to shorten that distance up, maybe take it to the grappling stage, take it to the fence. I think Shamil Gaziev understands much more body language than Dante Mays in that stage of the fight. I think Shamil Gaziev may take it to the floor, and if he takes it to the floor, basically he can punch and KO, ground and strike him out, or maybe looking for that guillotine or maybe that rear naked choke. So in this fight, I'm pretty confident. I'm going with Shamil Gaziev for sure. Of course, he's also from Bahrain, so fighting out of Bahrain, I mean, so he's gonna be basically with his people. So next fight, this one is another tricky fight. Mohamed Yahya versus Kawi Fernandez. Both have only one fight in UFC and only one loss. So 0-1 in UFC for both of them. Yahya comes from UAE Warriors, which UAE Warriors is not a really good division in terms of competition and level of fighters. So Yaya's not coming from the best level you can see out there in the world. Kawi Fernandez comes from LFA, which on the other hand is one of the best minor leagues for UFC with the highest competition there is. Kawi Fernandez is, well known for his striking and kickboxing. He has really, really good kicks, high kicks, low kicks, really good combinations as well. Yaya, on the other hand, is a little bit better on the grappling stage and maybe a little bit better on the wrestling stage as well than Kawi. That's what I think that Yaya is going to be trying to look for. It, trying to get this fight a little bit more into that stage and try to get that Kawi a little bit, in the grappling stage, shorten the distance, maybe take it to the floor. Because technically speaking, I mean, striking, Kawi Fernandez takes this fight all day long. So my pick here is Kawi Fernandez. I say it with low confidence though. I prefer to just watch this fight. So next fight up, we have Alonzo Menifield versus Azamat Murzakanov. Alonzo Menifield coming from a knockout around 2 months ago. That's not really good. You need at least half a year to heal from a knockout. So his chin is going to be pretty much weak, to be honest. Alonzo Menifield, of course, is well known for his striking and, of course, because of his knockout power. This guy has really, really good knockout power. But on the other side, I think we have one of the most polished and flourished guys that you can see in this division and light heavyweight division in terms of striking. This guy is amazing when you see him striking. You see his stance is a lot like kickboxing. Um, Always jumping, around, trying to get that kick, trying to get that combination, that 1-2 in. This guy just doesn't stop moving around. I really like the striking that Azamat brings to the floor. The only thing that I'm concerned of Azamat's cardio, but I mean Alonso's not going to have more cardio than Azamat, and I can tell you that for sure. I think this fight wins Azamat Murzakanov maybe by knockout again. If he can find that chin again since Alonso Menifield, I think, is pretty weak on the chin, having a knockout from 2 months ago, pretty short while ago. So these are both one against Dustin Jacoby. He won against Devin Clark, which I don't think is UFC caliber. Chukwi, I don't think he's still in the division. The community is going with Marzakanov as well by knockout. Yeah, my prediction here is going to be Azamat Murzakanov, and I say that with confidence. I think this guy's going to knock Alonzo Menifield out. Once again, I really love Alonzo Menifield, but yeah, I'm pretty confident in Azamat. I love him. I love how he fights, and I hope you guys watch him. Next fight, going now to the main card, we have Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. Um, Two guys that really, stand out in some areas of the fighting. Basically, Elvis Brenner, we already know him for his knockouts. This guy can knock people out. He knocked out Guram. He knocked out Khrushchevsky. Um, Before that one against Tukugov, rear naked choke in another division, and then lost against Orlbai, which Orlbai, to be honest, is one of the best wrestlers today in the division. This guy is a machine. This guy is not going to stop trying to take you down. So it's understandable that he lost against Orlbai. But before that, he was on a really, really good win streak. Joel Alvarez, a little bit more trickier. He won Darce against Yakaise. Lost against Sarukian. Arman Sarukian is going to fight against Islam, so that's not a bad loss. KO against Moises, armbar against Yakovlev, guillotine versus Joe Duffy. The only thing, that concerns me in this fight is the reach and height advantage for Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez, if he's intelligent, I think he can maintain this fight on the distance. But I know Joel Alvarez loves to go to the submissions, loves to go to the floor, trying to get that ground and pound, trying to get that submission. So he might look for that in this fight. Elvis Brenner, when Joel Alvarez gets into that grappling stage, maybe try to get that takedown. Elvis Brenner might try to knock out. But we have to remind you guys that Elvis Brenner trains with Charles the Bronx Oliveira. And when you train with Charles Oliveira, basically you're training with the GOAT of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in martial arts. So this fight can go anywhere, 50-50. I'm going to pick Joel Alvarez. I like a little bit more of his reach advantage that he has here. I don't think he's going to knock out Elvis Brenner. I think he might submit him. But it's going to be a really, really good fight. And I'm not thinking it's going to go to the judges. This fight finishes before that. So next fight we have Mackenzie Dern against Lupita Godinez. Of course, we all know Mackenzie Dern's jiu-jitsu, one of the best in the division that the division has to offer. But technically speaking, in the striking game, she's not that good. In the takedown game as well, she's not really good in the takedown game, and so it's pretty hard seeing me try to get Mackenzie Dern takedown to Lupita Godinez. I don't think she's gonna take down Lupita Godinez. Lupita Godinez is really good in all the areas. And in the wrestling, I think she has a really good strength advantage against Mackenzie Dern. I think Lupita Godinez is a bit more stronger than Mackenzie Dern. She might defend these takedown attempts. And I think if they maintain it in the striking phase, Lupita Godinez takes it all the way. This fighter, Lupita Godinez, I love to see her fight. She just has to be a little bit more intelligent in terms of decision making in the octagon. But aside from that, I favor the underdog in this fight. I favor Lupita Godinez, and I think it's gonna go to the judges as well. Not with a high confidence, low confidence pick as well. Then we have two guys that should not even be in UFC, should not even be in the fighting game anymore. These guys should be retired with their families. But here we have them again. Ferguson, what the fuck are you doing here, man? What the hell are you doing here, man? This guy has not won a fight, I think, since which was 2018. I don't know, pre-COVID. I mean, big, big, big losing streak as well. A lot of damage in those losses. People knocked him out. People choked him out. Last fight, he was almost knocked out by Paddy Pimblett or almost submitted by Paddy Pimblett. Not good, not good at all. Michael Chiesa, not a good fighter, to be honest, at this stage of his career, to be honest. He lost against Kevin Holland, lost against Brady and Luque, which are pretty good level competition, but to be honest, Chiesa was never that good in the striking game. He is well known for his wrestling and for his submission game, which Tony Ferguson as well. I mean, he used to have a little bit of good striking, but he has a lot of submissions in his career. So I don't know this fight. It's pretty crazy to be honest to be analyzing this. I think Chiesa wins it because Ferguson is going up a division and Chiesa is much bigger fighter. He's 6'1" um, than Ferguson. Ferguson is 5'11". So I favor Chiesa. He might take it to the floor and try to get that submission, but Ferguson maybe finds that guillotine. And if he finds that guillotine, we all know that that's Chiesa's weakness. So you never know. But my pick is Chiesa. Very, very low confidence. Do not enter this fight for any reason. Just watch it. Next fight, we have Chito Vera against Davison Figueiredo. Davison Figueiredo, this would be, I think, his third fight on the division. He was, of course, ex two-time flyweight champion of the world. He fought against Cody Garbrandt, choked him out. Fought against Rob Font and won him. And of course, his last fight in the flyweight division was against Brandon Moreno. Chito Vera comes from a 5-round, basically bully beatdown fight. He did not demonstrate at all anything that he had in that fight. It looks like he was trying to analyze Sean O'Malley constantly, did not even activate any good combinations. O'Malley almost knocked him out. Yeah, not good. Before that, a win against Pedro Munoz, which could have gone to Pedro Munoz as well. Split decision loss against Sandhagen, which is not a split decision. This was a good decision for Sandhagen. I don't know who gave it to Vera. These judges these days, you can't trust the judges. So my pick here is going to be Davidson Figueiredo, and let me explain a little bit why. Marlon Vera is going to lose the first round, and we all know that. Marlon Vera always takes that first round as an analysis round. He's not that active. He tries to read the other fighter, the opponent. And Davison Figueiredo, we already know this guy. This guy goes in to kill or be killed. I love the style that Figueiredo brings to the table. He's gonna be much more active fighter in all the phases of the game. He's gonna, of course, try to get the ground game going on. I think because Marlon Vera might not be is not that good in the ground game. He has good submissions, Chito Vera, but Davison Figueiredo is levels above Chito Vera, in my opinion. The thing is, how do you take Chito Vera down? That we're gonna see that. That's gonna be pretty hard to see. That's gonna be pretty hard for Figueiredo, I mean, to take him down. But if he takes him down, this fight is all his. And in the striking, Davison Figueiredo is gonna be much more active fighter. Chito Vera is gonna have those kicks, of course, that can knock those Taguerra down. But taking out those kicks, if Davis and Figueiredo reach those kicks and those counterattacks that Marlon Vera brings to the table, I think this fight goes to Figueiredo, to Figgy. I'm not that confident, but I think it goes to Figgy. After that, we have the co-main event, Shara Magomedov against Mikhail Oleszejczyk. Um, you know, Mikhail Oleszejczyk has the knockout power. If he connects one good combination, I think he can knock out Shara Magomedov. But taking that out of him, Shara Magomedov is a much better fighter, in my opinion. Of course, Shara Magomedov is not fulfilling his potential that we all thought he was going to be, but I love his style of fighting. This guy has really, really good kicks, one of the best in the division. Even if Mikhail is just an inch away from him, I think Shara is going to try to kick him anyways. Michael may try to look for the wrestling game, may try to look for the grappling game, maybe take him down. We have not seen Shara Magomedov that much on the canvas, but taking that out, if Shara maintains the distance and tries to bring his kicking game, I think he can knock Mikal out for sure. 13 and 0 versus 19 and 8. Last loss against Holland, I thought he broke his arm, but he didn't. Oh man, a rear naked choke against Michel Pereira, which Michel Pereira knocked him out before, to be honest. Win against Chidi, it's pretty good. Loss against Caio Borrello, top five of the division, so no worries there in that loss. Shara comes from a win against Tricoli. I mean, it was a good fight. Knocked him out with a left hook, but we saw that he took his time. Win against Bruno Silva. So he only has two fights. This would be his third fight in UFC. So my opinion is this fight goes to Shara and it's gonna go for knockout. I have a lot of confidence in Shara Magomedov. I think if he maintains the distance, this guy is really, really intelligent in the octagon, and he understands really, really well the fights. So my pick here is Shara Magomedov. And then last fight of the night, we have Corey Sandhagen and Mumar Nurmagomedov. So you might know the last name Nurmagomedov from somewhere, maybe Khabib. Yeah, of course. This guy is a cousin of Khabib. He trains with Khabib. He trains with Islam Makhachev. He trains with his brother Usman Nurmagomedov, which he is the future lightweight champion of UFC. If UFC occasionally signs him, I think Usman, which is Umar's brother, has a chance to be the the champion of the lightweight division after Islam's reign. I think that's the plan that Khabib has. But yeah, let's concentrate on Umar and Corey. Corey, I mean, this guy is one of the best fighters in the world, and not only in this category. I love Corey. He's really, really, really good in all areas of the game. Does not have that much knockout power, but he has really good combinations. He reads well the fights, understands the spaces as well. His ground game is really good. He can try to submit Umar from his back, you know, but what favors Umar is his strength. I think Umar's strength is much, much more greater than Corey Sandhagen's. I think Umar might try to get this to the grappling stage and try to get that takedown and showcase that Sambo, Russian Sambo wrestling. And in the striking game, Umar is really good, and I think Umar is the best in his gym at striking. I think his striking, in terms of levels of Islam and Khabib, I think Umar has a much better striking. Now, why is Umar fighting Corey Sandhagen? Sandhagen, I think he is ranked number 4 of the division, and Umar is a little bit lower in the rankings. But no one wanted to fight Nurmagomedov, so that tells you something. The only guy, the only brave soldier that accepted his fight is Sandhagen. So my respects to Sandhagen. Umar comes from a victory against Beksat, which I think Beksat is going to be top 5 in the future of the division. Really good fighter. Um, Win against Ronnie Barcelos. But it's not good competition. Kelleher, Manes not even with the division anymore, with the organization. Sandhagen wins against Font, Cheeto, Song, lost against Jan and TJ Dillashaw, but I think this fight is going to go for Umar. I mean, they're fighting as well, in Abu Dhabi, so people are going to be going for Umar. He's going to have the crowd for him, and Umar's going to have, I think, if Khabib goes, the best, coaches and ringside you can possibly have. If you have Khabib in your corner, that's it, game over, man. So I think this one goes for Umar. I think he's going to look for the submission. He might try to knock out Corey, but I think he's going to be more intelligent than that and try to get this to the ground stage of the fight. Try to get that ground and pound going and maybe try to find that submission. I don't think it goes to 5 rounds. If it goes to 5 rounds, watch out for Umar's cardio. We have not seen that much of Umar's cardio before, but if not, this fight should go pretty good for Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, I'm going to show you guys who is my lock of the week and who is my underdog of the week. So my underdog of the week is Lupita Godinez. I think she is a really, really good striker as well as wrestler, and I think she has advantage in those two phases against Mackenzie Dern. Of course, the ground game and the submission game, that's all Dern, but I think Godinez is going to be able to stop the takedowns, get this into the grappling stage, and of course, in terms of striking, she's levels above Dern. This is going to go to the decision, I think, to the judges, and I think it's going to go for Lupi Godinez. Last week, we hit it with Patty. This week, I'm hoping we hit it with Lupi. Knock of the week, Shara Magomedov. I love this fighter. I love his kickboxing. I love what he brings to the octagon. I think he's gonna knock out Mikal. So this is my lock of the week, Shara Magomedov. If you're parlaying him, if you're parlaying, I think you should add Shara to your parlays. So before we finish of course, the this analysis and videos, I'm gonna do some parlays for you guys and using Bet365. So let's go for the winners. You guys should be doing short parlays, in my opinion. I would go Dumas. I would go, of course, Gaziev. And I would go with Shara and Umar. I think this is a really good parlay to play out. 3.6568 is the multiplier. If you want to take someone out, I would take, of course, Dumas and maybe add Azamat Murzakanov, giving you a 3.70, not much difference. Of course, if you want to risk it a little bit more, you can add Guram to the table, Dumas as well, maybe Murzakanov, and of course, Shara. 4 fights, 4.24. This is another good parlay to do. Now, if you want to risk it, now let's go with the underdogs. Let's go Bedoya, Dudakova. Let's go Lupita. Let's go, of course, Shara. I'm going to have to put Shara and everything. And we're going to go with Figgy. 5 fights, 15.40. This is a good also betting parlay, but, you guys do whatever you want. This is just me saying what I think. You guys want to do it, go for it. This is a risky parlay, but Yeah. And if you want to risk for anything on how any fight finishes, Hail Mary for Ferguson, man. It's Hail Mary for Ferguson by submission. But do whatever you guys want, to be honest. These are just some parlays that you my guys can play out. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis and predictions, as well as my lock of the week and dog of the week, as well as some of the parlays, possible parlays you can guys can build up. Follow me, of course, on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. And with that being said, we'll see you next week for the next event. Thank you very much.